Get off my hand!
Tomatoes!
All right, well...
Clap it up.
No, well, we got another doozy today.
A doozy, huh?
A doozy, because we started talking about what is a budget bike anyway, and we kind of got on to talking about specific bikes and everything, and I could feel the tension. You were getting a little weird about, well, where's this going and all that, and, you know, so this one will complement that one. If people listen to that, this will complement that. This today, I think what we have is best big box budget hardtails, right? The best, or just our favorites and why. Like, let's just talk about some big box budget hardtails we've experienced. It doesn't have to be hardtails specifically. I think the reason I say hardtails is because I have to eliminate the ledge, or else you get a little love affair going. Mm-hmm. So just best big box budget hardtails that we've experienced and why, and then I'll have a follow up to that.
Okay. You want a list?
You can work on a list when I talk about
I know
stuff.
we've done videos on this stuff before, but, you know, we've never done.
We have a lot of
flat out
episodes on this
talked about
stuff.
it. Yeah. Well, I mean, I can do my list, budget, you know, where we're talking about budget prices and all that.
Not necessarily. Look, we have episodes on the Tick's top favorites and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So what I was thinking is more along the lines of just discussing it in the way of, what do you think is the best, not just what's your favorite, but what do you think is the best? Kind of like what we were doing the other day on the bikes, where we're talking about the GT and all that, and at the money. Like, discussion of at what money is what bikes, you know. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm just going to do a list of 5, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, that's fine. And while you're doing that, I'll talk about, I know with me, I'll talk about some of the things I look for. And one of the things I always look for, like I've said before, I said just the other day, I said price. When I'm looking, when people start, like the Wolftick Nation, to send me, emails, comments, whatever, right, messages, whatever, and they'll say, "Hey, have you seen this? Have you seen that? Have you seen this bike for whatever?" Sometimes they say the price. Sometimes they'll just say, "Have you seen this bike?" And it's like, usually if I have time, I'll go, well, let me look and see what they're talking about. Yeah, and I'll get an idea. And if the first thing I look at is the price. I don't even look at the bike. It's price, shipping, and I'll go from there. If I look at something and it's like $1,200, I'm out. I'm not even going to bother. If it's, like $600 or $700, I might look at free shipping, and is it like a really high level bike for that price?
Something.
Yeah, it better be really good, like a Canyon, like a high level Canyon.
Yeah, it better have an air fork that's crappy. Even if it's
with that price, I want a decent air fork. That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't have to have a decent. I have to have a group set, and it better have an air fork. It doesn't even have to have rebound at that price.
Not at $700 or $800.
I want hydraulic brakes, so yeah.
You're crazy as hell, man. But you have lost touch. So anyway,
I got an espresso.
I'm telling you about my experience. I'm telling you what I do. So then when someone says, "Hey, have you seen what Walmart's coming out with," or whatever, I always look. But now I always take it with a grain of salt with Walmart, like on their site now, though. Every time I look at a bike that isn't out yet on their site, I don't even trip like I used to. I'll just be like, I'll screenshot it. I may have learned to screenshot.
Screenshot the description.
Yeah, and I'll start
just to make sure that they're not full of shenanigans.
Well, I mean, damn, there was so much stuff that went wrong on that last deal.
I thought you were going to bring up price. Something that I want to say real quick before I get to my list is the price of aluminum comp.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
So one of the things that really went bad during the whole. The company's got to realize the pandemic thing's done. Like the supply and demand's done. And I mean, Walmart's going to have to really start loosening up their prices, get back to reality, because aluminum comp was what made aluminum comp special is what you got for $224.
Yeah,
that bike was $224.
Yep.
At $224, it was a special bike. At
$298.
I seen it up to I seen it more than that. I think
it's no damn $300
bike.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
ridiculous.
Like, at those numbers, no, it's not. That's not no.
Yeah. Let me get to my list.
Well,
I mean, look, I want to say my list because there's going to be a lot of talking points about this list.
Okay, but once we get to that list, then we're off. Whatever. Go ahead with your list.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, don't start with number one, please.
No, that's not in any order. Specific order.
So no order at all.
No.
You just want to bring up some stuff.
I just want to bring up some bikes.
They're big box budget bikes, and they stand out because of?
Just because they're the ones I think of when I think about going out and riding, which ones I would enjoy to ride.
And they're all big box.
Yeah. Okay. I've got written down here, Axum DP.
Okay.
Axum DP.
Which, by the way, you rarely ever see in a Walmart.
Yeah,
so it is mail order usually.
But they do have that new Axum DP that come out, at least a new color scheme, black and gold, and they had that like at a Mamel Walmart. I was super excited about. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember something.
It was sweet looking, man. So apparently they're still making them. I remember when that bike first come out, and even before we even had the GT, I remember searching different hardtail mountain bikes, on the internet, and that was like Walmart's real mountain bike, like a bunch of years ago when the Axum had come out. But anyway, Axum DP, what do we pay for that? $498.
Yes.
Okay. Obviously, DP stands for dropper post. Comes with an internal dropper post, tapered head tube, 29er. You can get it between a small, medium, and large.
Nope.
No small.
Medium and large.
Medium and large only. The bike is a little big for me.
It is.
Because
I'd say it's almost a lot big for you.
And somebody pointed this out. Why it's a lot big for me is, and I still have to ride the thing, is because it's so long. That bike, you can put it with, against some other bikes, and that sucker's wheels stick out like 2 or 3 inches further than theirs. Wheelbase is really long, but I love that comes with the dropper post. As I said, tapered head tube. That's one of the few bikes actually come with the Compass 2.6-inch tires, 29 by 2.6, and I love fat tires.
Yeah, you have an obsession. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the group set, it's a freewheel that comes with a axe, I believe it is, group set.
It's a free hub.
It's a free hub? Okay, it's a free hub, and it comes with a group set that's a clutched or like an extra spring or something like that. One buy, but anyway, that's one of the ones that come to my mind. $500 big box store bike.
It was sort of the. I think for a long time during right getting into the pandemic when it was this whole, to me, when this was all really born. It was like the bike to have for the budget
from Walmart.
It was that and the GT Racer Pro.
Yeah, you couldn't find those things. Like I said, you still can't find them. That's like a classic Walmart bike right now.
That's when that bike, you feel like you've done something when you have that bike if you're into this kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, it's like a collector's piece. Like, man, I got me an Axum, That's an awesome bike. I always love the Axum DP. And like I said, the 3 that I wrote down are bikes that I think of riding. And it's not because the upgrades, it's just, I don't know, I feel really good on these bikes. And, that being said, the Axum DP is bigger, too big for me. And I could admit that, but that's such a fun bike to ride.
Took you a long time to admit that.
Yeah, they did a good job with that bike.
I remember when your pride was crushed in Missouri on that bike, and you couldn't admit it was too big for you yet.
Yeah. Next bike that I wrote down is an Ardor, Mongoose Ardor.
Mm-hmm.
Mongoose Ardor.
Now that's a freewheel.
Everybody knows. Yeah, that's a freewheel. Everybody knows that's one of my favorite bikes.
That frame is ridiculous good for its price range.
We own 3 of them.
Yeah.
And that's one of our Patron builds, little Project Gummy Worm that the YouTuber guys got to see, of course. But the Ardor, the slacked outness, tapered head tube, 1x. It has the clutched derailleur, right? I forgot what kind of derailleur it was. But anyway, it's got the clutched budget derailleur. It's got 2.6-inch tires, the same brand and all that, and width is the Axum DP stuff and the Axum stuff. Compass 2.6-inch tires. It's just such a sweet bike.
Well, it's a 27.5 versus a 29 like the Axum.
Yeah,
right?
It's a 27.5, and it also has internal routing for your dropper post.
But it doesn't have internal routing to the bike.
What? Dang, what was that? A spaceship?
The hell was that? Anyway, it don't have internal routing, right, for the...
No, it does not, because I had to add those sticky things on there. No okay. Internal routing, but it does have...
Just for a dropper.
Yeah, just for a dropper. that's awesome.
The Axum DP, or Axum in general.
And what would we pay for that bike? $300?
Yeah, it was $298.
That's crazy. $298 for that bike. Yeah. That's another one that every time we do a bike search at Walmart, that's what I'm hoping that we see. Just so I can maybe talk you into buying another one. I love that bike. I really do. That bike has a special place in my heart.
Yeah, it is. It is a. I think that bike. What's funny is, that bike comes with garbage everything.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything on that bike that's worth it.
No,
worth
the fork's
anything.
crap.
The fork is horrible.
The derailleur's crap. I mean, that bike is crap.
No, that fork is that fork is another level.
Oh,
bad.
super bad. Yeah, there's not even any preload.
No,
notes
there's
or anything
nothing.
Like that.
It is the biggest piece of garbage fork ever. Like that bike, it's like people go, well, what do you recommend? Well, first of all, we don't recommend anything. But that bike it's hard for me to tell people that don't want to work on their bike to buy that bike. I'm like not telling them to buy it, but like when they go, hey, should I get this? Do you think I'm too big, this and that? I'll be like, well, are you going to work on this thing? Because if you're not going to work on it, do not buy that bike. Because that bike off the rack is garbage.
Yep. Unless you got another daily rider, you want to get that bike and just build a cool frame up. Like that's the one to do.
Yeah. If you just want a frame, that's the bike. That's absolutely that. But yeah. So okay, I get that one.
And I mean, that the Ardor is great. Okay, this is another bike. This is this bike here. I think you're going to trip out that I'm listing it. And maybe this one's more because it's in an upgraded form.
Real quick on the Ardor, though. In all fairness, though, I just thought about this. There's only one size on that bike, and it's only good for people up to probably 5'10"-ish, maybe.
I don't even know about 5'10". That might be too tall. Maybe 5'9", 5'8".
Some builds. Some people say, hey, they're 5'11", and it's fine for them. That's fine.
I could see somebody putting a 29er fork on the front of it, though. Big old slacked
mold
out.
it in the thing, or just put a 29er fork? 29er
fork on the front. And 29er in the back. Well, I don't know if you could fit a 29er.
No.
But anyway, you can mold it or just put a nasty raked up fork up front and just use it as a downhill bike. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
I don't know. It's a cool frame, but I don't think it's for a really big guy. I think it's for small guys.
$300, that leaves you so much room to start upgrading it over time.
It does. And you can ride it on the street stock, and you can ride on a green trail. Maybe I don't know.
It's so
bad.
It's just so much fun because the slack downness.
The way the bike handles, it blows your mind.
Yeah. Next bike that I got written down is the like I said, this bike here. I think you're going to be surprised, but this one might be because of the upgraded form, and it's not there's nothing really fancy about this bike. This is the Kent Travail.
Okay.
It's a 29er. Ours is a Mulvale. We got the 29er up front, 27.5 in the rear. And for some reason, when I think about riding bikes and enjoying bikes, that one feels really good to me. Maybe because it's a Mulvale.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, it's because that wheel set's sick.
Yeah. The brakes are great. The fork up front's cool.
That wheel set.
Everybody loves that bike. Internal routing. I mean, it's just a neat looking bike, and we got a bunch of more upgrades to do to it. Simple stuff.
I don't even want to know how much that wheel set is.
No, I don't either. And I think I'm rocking like the same grips and bar on it right now. But it's just such a fun bike. What did we pay for that?
That $400,
$398. Of course, we talked about it on one of the past episodes, but it had some problems out the gates.
Oh yeah.
Like most budget bikes do, but
it had problems with the marketing and stuff too. But it's a
then the
story.
derailleur was routed. The chain was routed wrong through the derailleur and all.
Remember
that good
the
stuff,
recovery on that real quick though was supposed to be they got it confused with the different bike they had released.
It was a model that they were going to release in another country or something like that.
I don't know. I don't remember if they ever responded directly to us. I don't think they ever did on that. They did on the Ozark Trail, but not on that one. I just reminded. There's a comment I wanted to talk about. Anyway, it don't matter. We'll talk. We'll figure it another time.
But anyway, it's just a Travail. Like it's got. I don't know. It's such a neat looking bike, And that's one of the ones that was top of my head. Now there's one that I don't like.
Okay.
There's one I don't like.
Well,
do you want to talk about that?
I get worried with you because people are going to listen to this and they're going to think I'm crazy, and then the people are going to listen and go, I get it. I have to remind you what you like and don't like sometimes. And that's a true statement.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I don't like.
So,
you can agree.
But I'm going to, if it's something I disagree, I'm going to remind you that you're wrong and why you're wrong.
Okay. Well, this bike here, I was very excited about getting it in the beginning. It didn't look all that great. It looked okay. It's actually a good looking bike. Then you get to ride on it and everything is wrong. It's like they slapped together a bike with a whole bunch of parts. I see your face right now. You're tripping out.
Yeah.
It's the Ozark Trail Vibe. That bike is so off.
Well,
it's like they didn't know what to do with it.
I'll tell you what's off about that. I'll tell you what's off on that bike. It's that bike somehow has got a tapered fork, Our tapered head tube, but
Okay.
but everything else about the bike is like a weird old school geometry.
It's so weird.
So if you look at that bike, the way it's formed, the frame and everything, even a small, which we've seen, if you look at it, it looks a lot like a Nishiki Pueblo. It has that real squarey kind of old school mountain bike feel and frame.
The top tube is like there's no standover on it.
No, the standover. I stood over a small and I could barely stand over it. I'm 6'4". It was horrible.
The bike is super uncomfortable. Yeah. It looks strange. It feels weird all over. It's like I said, it's like they didn't know where to go. Good. Oh, me too.
Because it was what, $300? Yeah,
I think it was $300. I wanted to be so good, and it was like, oh my god, this is going to be the next bike that everybody can start going out and getting. It's an Ozark Trail, the camping bike. It's going to be perfect for green trails. Nothing crazy. It's going to be comfortable the way it is. Maybe do some tire change up, but it was like, wow, this is bad.
Yeah, well, it was. I think it was bad because of expectations and the price. I think the price is wrong. I think that price should have been $200. It seemed on paper that it was going to be something, and because it was size frames, and then we got it, and it's like, this is no.
Yeah, I'm glad we got the Ridge.
And then, so the Ridge was what the vibe we thought. The Ridge is what we thought the vibe was. Now the Ridge is $100 more, and it only has medium and large. Right? There's no small yet.
Apparently, it's supposed to come out.
Well, Willard keeps telling us there's a small out now in the comments. I don't know if there is or not. I haven't seen it yet. We're waiting to see it in a while. Unicorn. But at the same time, so the Ridge is great. Unfortunately, the A5 was not great.
A5 was
in
terrible.
testing. It was, but and I'm glad L2 sent us something else for it. But yeah, I know, I get what you're saying. The vibe, the Ridge is what the vibe should have been, and then the Ridge should have been what the Travell was supposed to originally be. Okay, well, what do you think is what's the least expensive bike that we would buy, and what would it have to buy it? Like, okay, for instance, we go into Walmart and we can't buy into the ones we already own. We have to buy one like we always look through and we show them, right? What bike would you say, you know what, I wouldn't mind getting this because it's so cheap, it's intriguing, or it has a certain feature. You know what I'm saying?
Well, really, I mean, I've been wanting to do this for a while now. I just don't want to be the guy that doesn't know anything about it and look like an idiot, because we're putting it out there.
When the hell's it ever stopped you?
Yeah, I mean, but it's going to be one of those things, and I wish it wouldn't be. But then I start thinking about other stuff, and I really want to do it. But I think in order for it wouldn't necessarily be the price, but I would really like to find a really good-looking gravel frame from Walmart. I would like to do a gravel bike build. I think that would be neat.
But you have to first understand what a gravel bike is.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Well, the reason I say is because our argument the other day we had at Academy.
Yeah,
well, not really
it wasn't an argument, but it was just
a conversation.
That's exactly my point, though. I don't want to get one. I haven't pushed to get one because that's what's going to happen. You were
for a while. I remember for a long time you were, and I was like going, it's a fad, and it's not our kind of viewership.
Yeah, well, because I was wanting to also change my road bike into a gravel bike, the Kona. I wanted to put some drop bars on it and do some different things.
It has drop bars, and it technically already is.
But not like the size of like a gravel one.
Your Kona Dewdrop is a gravel bike. So let me explain this to you. Basically, in a nutshell, right? People can correct me, or they can say, hey, well, you forgot this or that. What a gravel bike is a road bike that has drop bars, disc brakes, and usually like a 38 or so. Like the tire's a little bit wider, has a little bit of tread. Yeah. Like it's a little better for gravel, right?
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's a road bike with a few things. So that's basically what makes a gravel bike.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's also known as a hybrid.
Yeah. So to answer your question, special feature, special price, I would like to do a gravel build. I always get like I really want when we go to Academy and we see those frames over there.
But you don't ride your Kona anymore. Rarely.
Yeah. I mean, we're always out in the mountain bike trails. We're always filming.
I've been wanting to ride the river bike trail for I don't know how long with you on the Kona and me on the 10 ways.
Well, we need to make that happen. That's one of those things. I mean, I always wanted to do a gravel bike build, so I think that would be really neat. But the second thing I was going to say was I love seeing. We haven't bought one, but I love seeing the Hypercarbon X. And it's so cool to see that bike. You know,
I just don't. I don't want one, and that's I'm glad you brought that up. People have mentioned it for a long time, thinking we should get one and do all that. I don't want carbon frames.
Yeah,
I just don't. And it's not just because everyone's like, oh, well, you're just worried because it's going to break or something. Well, that is a little bit of a worry. The way you ride, people that rode with you know how you ride, but that's not my biggest worry, because my biggest worry is working on it. There's a lot less give. I mean, like you can't change stuff. You have to press stuff and all that. It's it's not something you can go there and just change out real easy, because it's different. It's not aluminum. It's not steel. You know.
Yeah.
So I just don't want to work on it. And
I mean, that's what we do. So
exactly. So I don't want a Hypercarbon X and then not want to work on or any carbon fiber frame. Not only that, but carbon fiber frames haven't been around long enough for me to feel confident with. And what I don't want to happen is we get one, inspire 1,000 people to go out and get one, and we're all building this, and then we go out, and then people are breaking and getting hurt.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah, so like everyone always thinks, well, I'm surprised you guys don't feel guilty with the forks and stuff. It's like, we haven't had any fork failures on it. If we had fork failures, then we would be telling people, hey, these fork failures,
Yeah, and there's been a lot of forks that we did not like or didn't feel safe to do certain things with.
We've had, and when we do, we tell people. But and it doesn't mean it would even fail. It just means we didn't feel great about it.
Yeah.
The only fork failure we ever had was the Lutu, and it didn't fail when you're riding and all that stuff. It kind of just finally died, but that was after abuse for like half a year.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, I think that wraps up the box bikes, the big box store bikes. You know, maybe we need to do one with bikes. Maybe on one of these other episodes, we should do one on big box or non-big box store bikes that we own, that are some of our favorites. Because I mean, there was like 3 or 4 of them I wanted to write down, but I forgot you can't get them at Walmart. You know, well, I think it'd be pretty interesting.
Well, there's Academy and Target and Dick's. Those are all big box stores.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, well, we don't have to just talk about Walmart.
I know. Yeah, all those 3 actually.
Well,
get them at Walmart.
The other stuff, I don't want to talk about Patron stuff.
No, there's some other things in there. Anyway, we'll talk about another episode. But, Wolftick Nation, we appreciate you guys watching as always. That's another podcast out of the way. Man, all the patrons, everybody out there, thank you guys so much for sticking with us and, supporting our Patreon. We're I like to say where the cool kids hang out. And,
well, the ones that can tolerate all the nonsense and the language.
Yeah, if you guys are interested in checking it out, make sure you look it down in the description below. All of the
if you use a lot of 4-letter words, Patreon might be for you. But if you are offended easily, it is not where you need to be.
All the coffee supporters and PayPal supporters, appreciate you guys' support as well. Wolftick Nation, we are going to get out of here. That was another podcast episode, man.
You want to talk about the comments?
Nope.
Wow. Okay. Well, I will then. Please, just because we're not responding to all the comments, don't feel like we're not reading them. We're reading them. Please feel free to comment, add some 2 cents worth of things, and we'll, might be give us some content for future shows or whatever. And he's the one obsessed with comments usually. I'm surprised he's not tonight, but he isn't. So I am. So comment.
We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.